Well, the Mary Persons football team had its first losing season in 2020, its first non-winning season since 2006. Coach Brian Nelson looking to right the ship this fall. He sat down with our Bill Shanks recently in the Coach's Corner.
Season 10 for Brian Nelson at Mary Persons in Forsyth. Coach, last year not great, 4-5. First time you've not been to the playoffs in 2 straight years where you haven't had a winning season. You had so many great years in a row. It's hard to keep it up indefinitely, but kind of a reboot for you last year. Talk about last season real quick for me.
Yeah, it was, and it was one of those years. I think, obviously with the pandemic and everything, it was tough for us, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but it hit a little bit different for us in some scenarios, in some cases with quarantines and things like that. But we were really kind of young, and we're going to be young again this year too. But these kids this year have worked hard in the off season, and we've kind of had a full off season, so to speak, as opposed to last year and last summer. And the kids this year have done a good job, and getting excited to kind of get started here.
Let's talk about your defense for this season. You've got 4 starters back. You allowed 24 points per game last year. Lost some big people, though. Thomas Warren, Andrew Lackley, Lamont Jones. But you bring back Brandon Alford, Champ Brantley, JT Owens. You're going to look to those 3, I would imagine, in particular, try to help you out lead your defense, correct?
Yeah, we will. And we'll be young, this summer and the stuff that we've done, not only with ourselves, with other teams. I mean, if we started a game tomorrow, we wouldn't have one senior out there, So, but the kids have done a good job, and they're young, and obviously Champ and Brandon and JT are guys that played a lot for us last year, and we'll rely on those guys early on. But we've got some really good young players that we're excited about and excited to see what they can do when they get their opportunity.
Tough region, of course, Region 2 in AAA, one of the toughest in the state. Before the Bulldogs get going with that, they'll have their opener on August the 20th versus Towers. We'll talk about the Mary Persons offense with Coach Nelson in our next report. Coach's Corner with Brian Nelson from Mary Persons in his 10th season as the head coach of the Bulldogs, who went 4-5 last year. Not a normal season for Mary Persons at all, but Coach, as you look to rebound this season, that tough region in AAA, you've got an experienced quarterback with Logan Hickman, who will be a junior, but will be in his 3rd season as a starter. How much does that help you, especially since you only have 4 starters on offense returning?
I think it helps a lot, obviously, having experience at that position, and he's kind of getting into a spot now where, in normal times and standards of our program, this would be kind of his first year, but he's been starting for 3 years. We kind of threw him in the fire a little bit as a freshman and sophomore, but now he's a junior. He's more matured. He's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit stronger. He's a little bit faster. He's a little more experienced. All those things. So it's good to have some experience at that position, and something we haven't really had the last 2 years. So him going into his 3rd year, we're looking for big things for him, especially considering we'll be fairly young on offense. We got Starr and Germany up front, who are 2 really good offensive linemen, and but everybody else around him is going to be full of youth.
You lost your leading rusher, Joker Goodson, who had 680 yards for you. Adrian Hewley, who had 458 receiving yards, so your leading receiver as well. Duke Watson and DJ Martinez, are those the 2 you'll be looking to step up at those 2 spots?
Yeah, we feel like Duke's going to be a really good football player. He's just going to be a sophomore, but he got a chance to play a little bit last year, and then DJ will kind of be that guy that we use in a lot of different spots and get the ball to him on offense. He'll play a lot of defense, which he played primarily last year. And then we got a sophomore wideout that we feel like is going to be pretty good, Ty Dumas, and so we got an opportunity there, and then some other young skill kids that we feel like they're just young. We feel like they're going to be good, but you never know how they're going to react on Friday night. They're just we haven't even started school yet, so a lot of these guys haven't even started the 10th grade. So that's kind of where we're at, but we feel like they're good players, and looking forward to seeing what they can do.
All right, first game for Mary Persons on August the 20th against Towers. we look forward to seeing the Bulldogs bounce back this season. Coach Nelson, thank you. Always a pleasure. Thanks for your time. Good luck this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.